You are looking at the sunrise at the Sea of Galilee on this glorious morning. It got quite chilly. We're down to 14 degrees centigrade. And you say, wow, in your place you got snow, or you got freezing temperatures, and it feels very chilly for us. Of course, it's even chillier in Jerusalem. It might be down to below 10 degrees, probably, I didn't check. This winter landscape with the bare trees. It's nice to be having a brisk walk. Just now saw the Mount of Beatitudes here. So we have tough readings today. About the end of empires and glory at the end of the liturgical year. And the big word is stay calm, because there's a different kingdom that's lasting. Kingdom of truth and justice. A kingdom of peace and respect and fulfillment. And there we have some migrating birds with their flippy floppy. They're not very organized in the beautiful geometrical pattern. It seems they're trying to get organized in one line right now. So with the book of Daniel, we're also in very late literature in the Bible that's combining a lot of different aspects of the history of salvation. An author who has been penetrated deeply in his thought and his heart by the experience of all the scriptures prior. It's wonderful when we enter into the mystery of God's action in history, to allow that to form our mind, to form our mindset. The book of Daniel echoes so many themes. These young fellows, these young lads, maybe in America they'd be called kids, they're in an exile situation. So many kids today uprooted with their families. And they're being addressed with all this wisdom this experience, and how young people can also stand before tyranny and authority and witness to what is true and what is right. We're not fatalistically condemned to follow the wrongs of abuse of authority. Conscience can speak up. And there we have Daniel and his companions in yesterday's reading, remaining faithful to their deepest principles and being blessed. See that boat out there in the very center, almost in the very center of the screen? I think they're fishermen actually, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like that. I haven't seen them working out that far before. And so Daniel is interpreting a dream, which is interesting because really it shows the writer's experience of a knowledge of many kingdoms that people have gone through in a couple of 100 years, many severe kingdoms. And you have Babylon, and the Medes, and the Persians, and Alexander the Great, and his very abrupt, immediate conquests, and then falling apart into the kingdoms that took over from him. And in the memory of this writer, an appreciation of a decline, a moral decline, even maybe political decline, obviously a military decline. And there you have all the different stones representing that cheapening of human life, of governance, of capacity, going from gold down to the lowest metals. And then God comes out of just the mountain. The reign of God. It's still not suffused with the experience of Calvary and that level of humiliation. And yet the Messiah in the book of Daniel is also one that's killed. This is 1 to 2 centuries before Christ. Amazing language here. If we go back the other direction into the Hebrew scriptures, we find a great echo of Joseph, a young lad sold by his brothers into foreign power, into alienation, into slavery. And how he rises into the goodwill of the power and becomes the right-hand man, just like Daniel. All of this echo in the book of Daniel. And the great reflection then, as we continue reading the next few days, the book of Daniel, this certainty that God is our lives in his hands. And this is what we see in the gospel reading. As disasters happen, as political upheaval progresses, the believer keeps calm. Jesus said, be serene. Sometimes even the most sacred... Wow, look at that bird. I'm sorry, there was just such a wingspan. I don't know if you got to see them. I couldn't see it on my screen. And I was watching with my eye, and I hope I got it for you. And this is where we're sustained by faith, knowing that God has the supreme sovereignty, and that all of history is being guided with incredible respect of human agency, of freedom. God says to Moses, just write them a writ for divorce. God tolerates so much in the path of redemption of mankind. He allows them to have kings. And then he'll bring that all around again to express the true kingship, the kingship, that humble kingship, that meek kingship. Hey, you're taking care of the temperatures. Good morning, Moshe. He was always out with his sandals and his shorts, and that was enough a couple of months ago. But sometimes we have to, our will has to bend to the circumstances. Our limits are obvious to us at certain points in our life. Sometimes it's difficult for us to learn the patience of God in dealing with our brokenness. And then not to lose the faith and the hope and the love, like those kids who were able to go through any suffering to remain faithful. It's extraordinary, that example. Hey, look what we have down here at my feet. I saw these little black lines and I wonder what's going on. And here we have busy thoroughfares. There are actually 3 sets of freeways here. This is one. And then we move over here, we have another one. And then we move over here and we see another one. You can see all 3 here. Oh, we have 2 people here in a canoe. I was wondering where the voices were coming from. I'm moving okay, they're not flying like you think they are. That guy took off his jacket, so he's warming up with all the rowing. Where did you go, guys? There you are. So people, as we watch this beautiful nature and reflect on these words of scripture teaching us a viewpoint of faith in all the vagaries of the world, all the ups and downs, not just of the big political spectrums, but our own situations personally, in our families, in our health, the changing circumstances of life. And let us be strengthened to do good, strengthened to lift up the broken, to encourage the disheartened. And here we are again. Here we are again. We reached our point here. So the good people from England who asked me to go down and get beyond this point, which I hope to do one day, have arrived. They were in Nazareth last night, and they're coming today. We also have groups of pilgrims staying at Magdala, thanks be to God. It allows us to keep operating, so our staff can have work, and they can be blessed in their pilgrimage. So I think we'll say goodbye for today. Invite you to read the readings and gain great wisdom and insight for life and reading the world history, the news that happens. God bless you. See you later, alligators.